And you are live, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, James. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting on January 6th of the Reynolds School Project Building Committee. Jeff, would you please do the roll call?
Yes, members are asked to signify their presence when their name is called. Mr. Camillo.
Here.
Ms. Retta. Ms. Drazad.
Here.
Ms. Parati.
Here.
Ms. Dugan.
Here.
Mr. Wetzel.
Here.
Mr. Woods.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Jeff. Next item is public participation. I see we do have one person in attendance. If they would like to speak, they're on the Zoom application. You just raise your hand if you would like to speak. Seems not. So we're going to move on to take action on prior meeting minutes. We have one, the meeting of December 16th.
That is correct.
So I would entertain a motion from someone that they approve.
Make a motion
minutes
to
as
approve the
written?
make a motion to approve the minutes of December 16th.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by Mike Camillo and seconded by Amy?
Amy.
Yep.
Okay, by Amy. Any discussion? Questions, clarifications? No? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? No. Motion passes unanimously. Next item is take action on invoices. Marnie, you want to walk us through that?
Absolutely. I just unmuted myself.
Thank you.
I'm not sure. Do we have a visual of what the invoices are?
James, do you have them that you can put up on the screen or no?
I do not. If Jeff has them and he can forward them down, I can throw them up real quickly.
Okay.
I can tell you it was a regular Castle Blues invoice and some, I think the only other invoices were invited for the testing they've done at the school. I have reviewed all of them. They are in compliance with the contract amounts and I recommend them all for approval. I can try to bring them up if they're not able. I think they might have been in your packets, actually.
Yes, they were. They were distributed to all the members. I did not send them to James and I don't have them to be able to pass down to him electronically now.
That's fine. So if there are any questions for the invoices in your packet, please let me know. I think in the future, what I'll do is I'll have Jeff send me a copy of the packet because I see the invoices separately on other emails and review them and report back to him. So I recommend them all for approval, but I would like in the future for us to be able to bring them up on the screen, what you're seeing, what I'm seeing, so that there's a comfort level there.
Okay. I know everybody got them with the agenda, just sent them out. So I went through them again today and did review them and they have been approved by all the appropriate parties.
So again, I'm happy to share my screen and pull them up. Castle Booze was invoicing for, I think, 50% of construction document phase, which is they're actually a little beyond that. The three phases being schematic design development, construction document phase, and the construction documents are actually going to be finalized in the next 2 weeks. So the fact that they were only billing 50% was a little under what they've actually performed. There was no issue there. The two environment invoices, matched up to a proposal that they had given us to go into the school and test for PCBs, asbestos, lead. And what they had done is they had sent the town, they had sent Jeff Barron and I a proposal itemized for these services, and I confirmed that they were in compliance with that. So again, I recommend approval of the invoices.
Okay. Does anybody need to see them on the screen? Again, we had them in our email. If we do,
I just
can-
got them through. If you'd like them up, Mr. Chairman.
yes, if you could do that, if you can give Marnie permission.
Oh, she already has it, but I actually have them. I'm just pulling it up at the
Oh,
moment.
you have it now? Okay.
Yeah, Jennifer sent them through to me.
Oh,
That'd be
okay.
great, because I would like the committee to be able to see them.
Let's see.
Which may be odd, but this is Jennifer. I don't, this was just forwarding the agenda in the packet as I'm aware it went out to the committee, which I don't believe has, oh, it does have the Castle Blues invoice. Sorry. Okay, I guess everything is there then.
There we go.
There we go. So I don't know if you can no, that's fine. So again, all of these charges are in not compliance, but they're in accordance with the proposal that they had given us for these services that is in our project budget. And I can confirm that all of these services have been completed.
Okay, Jeff, how do we go about doing this? Do we need to get separate motions for these, or we just do it in one motion? That
We can just do it in one motion. That would be fine.
Okay. So someone would entertain a motion to approve.
Unless there's an issue with one particular invoice, in which case then you can consider them separately. I mean, it really
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound like there is. So if
No.
someone would like to make a motion to approve the invoices as presented for payment.
I'll move.
Kim, thank you, Kim. And a second? Second by Carol. Any discussion, further discussion on the motions? Again, we'll have it, make sure that they're in the James or Jeff, whoever is running the meeting next time on Zoom, so that we can get them up on the screen. But you will have them now prior to the meeting. So if you do have any questions, you'll be able to review them as you did this time. So hearing none, seeing nobody's hand up, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? Okay, the motion passes unanimously. Next item on our agenda is 6, which is the architect's update. Jennifer,
Okay, there we
you've been
go.
moving along, I see.
So I just have a few things actually to update you on as we're trying to finish up the construction documents. We do have an upcoming presentation to planning and zoning. And I did mention that last time. So we know that will be in January. Right now, I believe we're on the agenda for the 12th, though there is another large project on that agenda. So it may get moved, but right now we got a hold on the 12th.
Yeah,
The
I'm
town-
actually working to
Go ahead.
see, Jennifer, if we can get you ahead of that. So we do the
Okay.
new business first, and I'll let you know. I should have an answer by the end of the week.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah.
Also, we had reported last time that we sent responses to the town planner and town engineer after they had various comments on our site plan. They did a site plan review. We had a meeting to discuss their comments, and we presented responses to them. Everything's been sent back. And the town planner is fine with all of our responses. So that's looking good. They're satisfied.
So
Also,
no re-responses are needed.
no
no
re-responses,
re-responses.
right.
That's a good thing.
I know the fire marshal is reviewing some things as well. So on the town planner side, everything was fine. The fire marshal is currently reviewing information as well. We did not get confirmation yet that the fire marshal was okay with everything.
Okay.
I have
Jennifer?
a feeling everything's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jennifer, if I could stop you right here just to give context to the members. Tom, could you please bring up your last schedule? Pre-con schedule, so we can show the members where we are with these approvals. I think you did, Tom. Tom, are you there?
He's signed in, but
Oh,
There
there
we
we go.
go.
Perfect. Thank you, Tom. So Tom, if you could scroll down a bit to where we are today, I'd like to give the committee some context on what Jennifer's reporting. So the project team, meaning CSG, Newfield, KBA, have following this schedule to get various approvals, complete documents. And so what Jennifer is reporting on are these deadline dates. So Jennifer, what line item are you reporting on?
Sure. That particular item was line 23, which is the planning and zoning site plan.
Excellent.
So that is, as I said, scheduled for January 12th. We're on the agenda for that. It could be, we'll see if that gets shifted or anything. And it's not because they don't have the information or the, if it gets shifted, it would be just because of a large agenda that they have on the 12th. That's the only reason.
Right. So what I want to explain to the committee members is, looks like a line item schedule, but this is actually a lot of work between planning or whatever town authority it is and Castle Booze. So there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes to address, submit documents, have meetings, Zoom meetings. So there's a lot that goes into each of these.
Right. I didn't necessarily mean to go backwards. I wasn't looking at the schedule when I put my agenda together for tonight or my report, but if we do go backwards to item 16, I do want to report on that as well. That happened already. That was the DEP discharge permit application. So Newfield went ahead and filed that application, that permit. So I just wanted to report that that has been done since the last meeting. And there's a large document or documentation plans that go along with that our civil engineer, KBA's consultant, that the civil engineer prepared to go along with that permit. So that's now underway, which is
Jennifer, if
good.
I could stop you again, just
Sure.
on behalf of the committee, could you please explain what a DEP discharge permit is for?
Oh, now you're going to put me on the spot. Okay. So there's stormwater. I believe this is related to stormwater activities that need to be monitored and
During construction, yeah.
during construction. There's certain interim monitoring that has to happen. And then during certain storm events or large storm events, there's additional monitoring that needs to happen and reporting that needs to be done just to make sure that proper measures are being taken during construction to keep waterways, clean and right and and all
Right.
that.
Right. So just to give everyone a little background on this, we have a wetlands area adjacent to the site at the corner of Reservoir and Fen.
Mhm.
There's a wetlands area there. So it means that the design team has to address certain regulations that have to do with that. And the intent is that during construction, those authorities do not want those wetlands areas contaminated. Not with anything toxic or anything, but just runoff from dirt during construction. So because we have that wetlands area there, we are subject to certain reviews and regulations. And they go on our list of things to have to apply for and comply.
Your last part cut out for me. I don't know if you were finished, Marnie. I'm sorry.
Nope, you're good.
Okay, good. Yep. So, specifically we are, the plan that we provide to DEP with the general permit, it's a stormwater pollution control plan. Yep, to make sure that during construction activities, everything is protected properly. Let's see, looking at the schedule. We are, so I'm kind of going off of my my list and now looking that since you have the schedule up, I'm looking on that. We are anticipating upcoming Newfield and our estimator independently are currently looking at the 90% documents, that submission we provided before the holidays. They're estimating from that independently, and reconciliation is going to be coming up. So they're still working on that estimate. And we're still finalizing details and coordination on our end to finish up that last 10% of the project. So that is related to line item 29, for instance. That reconciliation will be coming up and will be complete at the next building committee meeting that's, I believe, scheduled for 1/20. Okay. We are awaiting review from our third-party code reviewer, Joe Versteeg, that was hired, not by KBA, but by the town. He's doing that third-party review. So we're anticipating getting comments on that coming up and having to respond to anything that he finds. That's related to line item 34 and 24. So 24, he's finishing up, but we need to address his comments. And I haven't heard of any comments just yet, but he always has something. So I imagine there'll be some comments for us to, things for us to revise in either drawings or specs or explain further. And then on line item 34, we will be, after correction of anything that the third-party reviewer finds, we will have the local officials sign off before we go to the state. So that's one of our big milestones coming up, getting prepared to submit final documentation to the state, the Office of School Construction Grants and Review. They will be doing a review to make sure all of our paperwork, everything's in order. They'll be looking at drawings, looking at specifications. They have to give approval for us to eventually go to bid in February, and we cannot go out to bid on this project until they give their approval. So we're trying to line everything up and get all these approvals for so that we can go to the state and that the state can then do the final approval. One of the things that will happen at the next building committee meeting associated with going to the state wants to know that the building committee is ready for the documentation, the plans, specs, and estimate to go to the state for review. So the building committee, actually the chairperson, Steve, will need to sign a form saying that, yep, we can, it's approved by the building committee for the documents to go to the state for review. The Board of Ed will also have to do the same, and that's line item 32. There's a Board of Ed approval. The PCR, I'll explain that. PCR is plan completion review, I believe, or pre-bid conformance review. And that's the state submission that I'm talking about. It's also PCR on this on the schedule. So the Board of Ed will need to sign on a paper saying, yep, we're ready for this thing to go to the state. Building committee will need to vote on that at this next meeting. That's line item 30. Town council doesn't need to sign off on state paperwork, but in Newington, the town council also wants to approve the documentations to go to the state. So that will be happening at an upcoming town council. There'll be 2 meetings. Item 33 and 31, we will be presenting to the town council. So they're comfortable with the project going forward to the state. Let's see what else. I think I've covered all of the things that I need to report on today. We're just trying to get to that state date and getting these final approvals underway. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. This is Tom. I was having audio and computer issues, but I hope you can hear me now. Good job, Jennifer. Thank you for going through that schedule.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, Tom. Any questions for Jennifer? Or Castle Booze in general? No? Okay, thank you, Jennifer. We'll move on to owner's project manager update. Marnie, it's you again.
All right, thank you. Can everyone hear me?
Yes. Well,
Excellent. So if we could go back to the last screen just for a minute, if that's possible. I don't know who is sharing that screen. I know we have new members on the committee, so I wanted to put what we reported on today in context. The items in red on the schedule, this schedule is developed by Newfield, our construction manager. The items in red represent town approval. Green are state approvals. They are required no matter what town you are. And then items in black are team approvals. So we are actually at the last third of the process of design. So our architect has already brought us through schematic design development, which is the second phase. And now we're in the last phase, which we call CD, construction document phase. So the approvals on line items 30 through 31 and 35, these are the most relevant dates that we're dealing with today. So I just wanted to put that into context for our new building committee members. If you have any questions, please ask. So moving forward, I would like to share my screen. I don't know, James, if you need to turn that over to me.
No, you should just be able to share.
Okay. Let me see how to do this. Bear with me, everyone. All right, help me out here, guys.
You have the document open already, correct?
Well, no, the construction schedule is not my document.
No, that's mine. Don't worry about that. Just go ahead,
All right.
select the document you want to share and go ahead and apply it.
Awesome.
It'll automatically replace it.
Okie dokie. Bear with me, guys.
Marnie, there may be a green share screen at the bottom center.
Thank you. I'm just not getting down to the bottom of the screen for some reason. Let me try to maximize. Oh, found it. Thank you, everyone, for being patient. Okay,
It hasn't changed yet, though. We're still looking at,
all right.
oh, here we go,
So,
here we go. Let's start.
okay.
Now, just came up.
Awesome. So what you should be seeing here is a letter, a cost proposal from Castle Booze, the architect. And this is for additional services to do an inventory of the existing furniture that's in the school. It's for $8,000. It is outside the scope of Castle Booze's contract. I have confirmed that by reviewing their contract. This is something that I recommend we proceed with. At the last, I think, 1 or 2 meetings ago, we presented the updated project budget, and Jennifer indicated that the budget numbers we had presented for furniture were running over. And our recommendation was to do an inventory of the furniture in the existing school and see if there were items that were in like new condition that would serve the purpose of the programs for the new school. So to do that, a detailed inventory needs to take place. And I recommend that we do this. I will do this, help KBA with this exercise. I believe that this is kind of a no-brainer, because to spend $8,000 to review what we have that could be reused might save us $100,000 to $150,000 if we need it. Now, keep in mind that if, when we go to bid for furniture, for construction, if the bids that come in are favorable, we may not need to reuse any furniture. So the way we will structure this is the furniture that is listed for purchase will be, we'll have a designation for new, and we'll have a designation for certain pieces to be reused. And at the end of the day, it'll be up to the committee, the town, the school, the Board of Ed, to decide which way we want to go. So this is not a formal commitment. It's kind of a safety measure to see, in case the bids do go over, if we can reuse furniture. So I verified that this is not within the current scope of KBA's contract, but what it could save us, again, $100,000 to $150,000. I recommend that it should be approved, and the budget can handle this. So at this point, I'm open to any questions.
Go ahead, Jeremy. I'm sorry, I was muted.
Okay, so $8,000 to evaluate the furniture in the school. Is there a sample report we can look at, or is there any kind of is that the going rate for something like this to evaluate furniture? $8,000. I mean, I realize it'll save more, but
no, that's fine, Jeremy. Good question. Actually, this is based on labor. This is merely based on somebody going out and spending the hours that it takes on an hourly rate, KBA's hourly rate, whether it's $85 an hour or whatever it is, to evaluate, take photos, decide, and then take it back to their office, compare it to the analysis they've done for what's required for the new school, and see if any of that furniture will translate to the new program. For example, they could do an an inventory, it'll take them 2, 3, maybe 4 days, take pictures and then go back. But then they need to look at the new program and the furniture that's required for that program and see if what is existing will work in the new spaces. So really, this is about labor hours. I believe it's fair for the labor hours that it will take to do this analysis. And I think this is a good exercise for us to do, to make sure we don't go over budget.
And if I may, when they test for size, condition, ADA compliance, do they test for lead or anything like that, contaminants that might be in the old furniture, that was purchased years ago?
No, the furniture that's been purchased is new enough to not have any of those contaminants.
Okay.
They're looking at furniture that's very new. The principal, Maureen, could give us more details, but I've personally been in spaces in the school where are tables that look like they were bought yesterday. And that's not to say that they will translate to the use of the new program. So we're not making that decision. That has to be made by the town and the community. We will make the recommendation and then wait to get feedback. We'll say something like, there are 8 tables in room 30 that we think would work great in the new conference space. What do you think? We'll say to the town and the school and the Board of Ed. And based on that feedback, we'll either consider it as a reuse or not consider it. So right now it's just an inventory, but it is quite time consuming.
Okay, thank you.
Amy, you had your hand up?
Yeah, thank you. Is this the only way that we would be able to reuse existing furniture is by doing this inventory? Or said another way, if we don't do this, are we not able to use anything that we currently have in the school?
Well, I mean, that's a hard question to answer. You've tested your architect to give you a school that complies with your ed specs. So they've reviewed those specs, which describe the program that you need, and they're going to evaluate the furniture in relation to that. So that's what they're tasked with. Any other evaluation beyond that wouldn't be part of their scope of work. There could be furniture in this building that could work in another building. There are a lot of options, but the first step is for us to evaluate what's there now and to see if it works for the program, new program. That being said, there could still be furniture there that might work in another school in Newington. And, then we'd be happy to determine how that could happen.
Right now, if I may, so this is Jennifer. Right now, what Castle Booze has done is based on the ed specs and our programming meetings with staff and with the principal. We know what's needed in the final configuration of the building when it's all said and done and built and renovated. We know what pieces of furniture are needed, how many desks in each room and chairs and teacher desks and all of that. So we already have a listing and have done a cost estimate, what we think it would be if you did all new furniture. But unless this inventory is done, we wouldn't be able to, who would identify, who would say, oh, we have some existing furniture that's looking good. We don't want to throw it out and we could reuse it. We could save money. So this analysis it would take us to that point to say, oh, well, let's take a look at all of that existing stuff you have instead of buying new. Can we reuse? Yeah, if we didn't do it, I don't know if somebody on the on the district side would want to go through and do this kind of inventory, to go through each room and say, hey, we've got 8 tables here and we think they're suitable for first grade. Whatever the case is, somebody would need to go through the existing building if furniture was going to be reused, and would need to tell us so that we know that we don't have to go for new furniture in a particular space.
So what Jennifer is describing is actually the beginning of the process. The first process is to determine, is there furniture in the existing building that is in like new condition that will work for the new program? The second step is anything in the school that does not work for the program. What does the district want to do with this furniture? Do they want to move it to other schools? Do they want to warehouse it and sell it? So this is, this is a process that we are familiar with, but we are just at step 1 right now.
It's also somewhat similar to what we did in the courtyard, right? So it doesn't mean that we're going to actually use the existing furniture. It's in case we need to find some money down the road, because bids come in higher than we think, that we won't be able to purchase all the new furniture, whether it's inflation or there's just other cost overruns. Again, I think it's just another little safety net for the cost. I mean, I think it's worth it, but it obviously the majority of the committee is what decides here.
I mean, just to give you some perspective, CSG has worked on projects where we have handled the furniture reconfiguration for an entire district, meaning 6, 7 schools. They go to a warehouse, the new furniture comes in, and then the old furniture gets inventoried and reallocated, and whatever can't be reallocated gets sold off. So, again, it's just step 1 of this process, but right now we need to focus on just Ann Reynolds.
And the other thing I'll throw in too, this is my 5th large school renovation building committee that I've been on. We've done this, I believe, every single time. We've inventoried the existing furniture to see if some of it was reusable. So it could free up dollars if they were necessary to use further down the road, if that helps. So at Anna Reynolds, E. Green, excuse me, we're working at Anna Reynolds, E. Green, Ruth Chafee, we did those, as well as the other 2 schools. Jeremy,
Yeah, so I think, it sounds like it's a good idea. It sounds like it's part of the normal process. My concern, and again, I'm not trying to be, don't take this the wrong way, don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to be adversarial or anything. This is something outside of, this is an additional service that's coming up. And I guess I'm just sitting here thinking, this wasn't thought of before, like this isn't in the project timeline already, or is this something outside of that?
Well, I'd like to answer that.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's perfectly fine in the project timeline.
Mm-hmm.
This whole process can occur within the project timeline. There's no delay associated with this. But it is a unknown where the architect at the time of bid doesn't know if this is the situation. So the additional funds to inventory the existing furniture wouldn't be part of the bid. But no, it is not going to add additional time to your project.
Okay. And should we expect others, other additional services like this to pop up as needed?
There could be some, Jeremy, down the way. That's why we have our contingency. We have the owner's contingency fund.
Okay.
That's what it'll be used for.
All right. Fair enough.
When you do renovate an existing building, usually you do find something. But until they rip the walls open, we don't know. Okay. So again, I guess I would entertain a motion to approve this expenditure to KBA for inventory of the existing furniture. Somebody would move that motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Michael. And a second? Second by Carol. Carol, do you have your hand up or you're seconding? Seconding. Yeah.
I'm second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Is there anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Marnie, anything else?
That's it. Thank you. Sorry, that's my dog.
Okay, it was mine earlier, so I got my wife has like a 12-pound dog that has a bark of a 40 or 50 or 60 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, mine's
Wow.
only 23 pounds, but you would think he was a vicious.
It goes right. It
About
goes
that,
right
folks.
through me.
I will mute as soon as I can figure out how to do it.
Okay, Tom, do you have anything for us? Construction manager's
no.
update?
Nothing major to add, just that we are on schedule with the estimate to publish it next week and reconcile with the third-party estimator and the design team. And we will be presenting that to you at your next meeting, I believe is on the 20th.
Correct. I think we meet again on the 20th. Okay. Any questions for Tom? No. Jeff or Marnie, do we have any other business? I don't have anything.
No, we do not.
No, thank you.
Okay. Brings us back to public participation. We have no one now. James, you agree? All right.
That is correct. They left.
Okay. Comments by members before we leave? Any questions, comments? All good? Yes, Amy.
I have a question and we don't necessarily have to get into it today, but I'm just curious about the actual overall end date of the project because I've seen a few different dates thrown out there and I'm, still trying to get up to speed. I've obviously been following along just personally because I'm, vested interest in the project, but as a committee member, it would be good to get an understanding of where we are as far as, is it 23, 24, what date we're looking at?
Okay. Tom, when will you have a construction?
Summer of
scheduled
24.
for us?
We turned it over in the summer. of
I know that, but when will you have it broken down so we can see what you're doing in what phases?
Yeah, we had a preliminary one. We're working
Right.
on refining that. We probably could have it for the next meeting.
Okay. So Amy, if we get it to you prior to the next meeting, so you can review it and then we can discuss it then?
Sure, that'd be great.
Okay.
I would like to add that the end of summer 2024 is our worst case scenario. If we can improve on that, we will.
Kim, you have your hand up?
Yeah, I just, want to reiterate what Amy just said, that, being new to the committee, any information, the backstory, the background that you can provide to us would certainly be very helpful, and that allows us to get up to speed. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And again, I'll send you all my cell phone number. Any questions? I'm easily reached on my cell phone or email me and we can chat too. I can help you the best I can. Okay.
Thanks.
If there is nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Carol. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Okay, thank you all. We stand adjourned at 6 o'clock.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night, everyone. James, we got
Thank
you
you,
on the road,
everyone.
as always.
Never a problem.
We're your best committee, right, James?